Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for coming out today. Just wanted to give everyone an update in regards to one of the shootings that had occurred from over the weekend. It is the incident that occurred at 1821 West Bradley. During the course of the investigation, detectives developed information that led to the identification of a 16-year-old male suspect. Detectives were able to obtain an arrest warrant for this male for the offense of first-degree murder. At approximately 7:39 p.m., members of the Target Offender Unit located the suspect in the 2700 block of West Tree Wind. The male was subsequently arrested for the warrant and transported to the Juvenile Detention Center. Due to the age of the arrested, I cannot release any information regarding him. I understand there's a lot of questions involving this case, but this is still an ongoing investigation. There's a lot of leads to follow up with, a lot of people to interview. I can't release a lot of information. We'll do the best to answer as many questions as possible, but again, we're not going to be able to release much information. Part of this is in fear of jeopardizing the case. We, for the first and foremost, do not want to jeopardize a case. So. A couple of things before I take any questions. I want to note the hard work that has been done by everyone involved in this incident, from not only this incident but also the other shootings that had occurred over the weekend. I'm very proud of the work that has been done by the Peoria Police Department. The detectives and officers have worked countless hours starting Saturday when these shootings had started occurring. Also, from the way that patrol handled the chaotic scene at Bradley University, when you arrive on a scene and you have upwards to 100 people scattering everywhere, it's very chaotic. We couldn't have done that without the support of Bradley Police Department and the Peoria County Sheriff's Department as well. But I want to note the way that that incident was handled. The scene up there was very professional, very well done. Also, I want to note the way that the Criminal Investigations Division and the Special Investigations Division worked together during the incident yesterday to make the arrest of this 16-year-old suspect. The teamwork and the hard work, long hours that they put on this case and on that arrest is why we have a successful conclusion and an arrest made for this incident. Also want to thank the community as well. Without community involvement, we would not be able to solve these type of cases. I can't stress enough how important it is for the community to get involved. I think you can use this case as an example of community getting involved and the result of a quick arrest. So that goes back to support the importance of all of us working together. So this time, again, probably can't answer too much, but try to do the best that we can.
Was the suspect arrested outside or in a home?
In a residence in the 2700 block of West Frieden, or Tree Wind, I'm sorry, Tree Wind.
Was that his residence?
No.
What role did community involvement play in the arrest of the 16-year-old?
Just by cooperating and coming forward with information.
Can you share what kind of, you said, I think you all said at the last news conference you had upwards of 10 cell phones in your possession. Did any of them play a role in leading you to the 16-year-old?
Well, Denise, I can't go into too much details on how we got there, but one of the things, we have over 13 cell phones, 13 or 14 cell phones. They're still being processed. As far as community involvement, I can't go into details, and that's one of the things to build the trust with the community. When they do come forward and cooperate, and they know that I'm not going to stand up here and explain what the community gave to us to get us from point A to point B.
The warrant was specifically for the shooting of Mr. Polnitz. Why was that, and why was he not involved with also the shooting death of Ms. Marion?
That'd be a question better directed to the state's attorney's office because they are the ones prosecuting it. And our detectives did work with the state's attorney's office to obtain the warrant. I don't want to go down the road, as to how or why it was solely limited to Mr. Polnitz's death.
Has a weapon been recovered?
I don't want to go into detail on that.
How many charges have been filed?
As of right now, the arrest warrant was for one count of first-degree murder, and that was relating to the shooting death of Anthony Polnitz.
Could there be more charges against the 16-year-old suspect?
That'd be up to the state's attorney's office.
Are you, is there a possibility you're looking for more suspects?
At this time, we do not believe that there would be another suspect or shooter involved.
When you say that, another suspect or shooter involved in Mr. Polnitz's death, or both of the deaths that took place at that residence?
The incident at Bradley University, or at, 1821 West Bradley.
Yeah, a lot of people are questioning, and it may almost be superfluous, but why was a 16-year-old at a college-age party? Is that even useful to the case?
That's one of the things, Ryan, hopefully that will flush out in the investigation.
Do you know if he'll be tried as a juvenile or as an adult?
Strictly up to the state's attorney's office. Yes, sir.
Was this young man on the police department's radar at all prior to this? Don't shoot or anything of the sort?
He was known to the police.
Okay.
Gang member, sir?
Due
Did you say
to,
whether or not he was?
no, since he's a juvenile, I'm not going to go into detail on it.
Are you any further along in the shooting Saturday night?
On Mr. Bell. Detectives continue to work it, and just like with this case, we urge the community to step forward if they have any information. Again, it's kind of, is what was brought out in the first press conference that we had, to have two different shooting incidents that resulted in 3 homicides in such a short time frame. So we do have different detectives assigned to each case, so that's why I was saying earlier, the work that they've done, the countless hours that they put in from the time that it started up to today, we're still working it and just want the community information.
Any thoughts that the two might be related to each other?
Still looking into that.
I think you said in the past, too, that the 16-year-old suspect brought a handgun to the party but wasn't intending to use it. He just happened to bring it, from what it seems like.
I did not release anything about that. Yes, sir.
Are there parents in the picture? Have you spoken to the parents? Can you share anything about that?
For the 16-year-old?
For the 16-year-old.
Yeah, I won't go into detail on that.
Given the warrant, were you able to establish a motive for why he had a gun while he was shooting at the party?
Again, that's one of the parts of the investigation that I can't go into. And believe me, I understand trying to get the information out to the community. I appreciate it, but hopefully everyone understands the sensitivity of the case, and in no way do we want to jeopardize the investigation and possible charges in the future.
Someone has suggested to me that the veil of Crime Stoppers as an anonymous source for information related to the 9/15 shooting on Sunday night isn't enough. That people don't feel very secure with that based on the advances of technology and the age of Crime Stoppers. What do you say to that?
Can you explain a little bit, Tanya, on when you mean the veil of Crime Stoppers?
Crime Stoppers is to be an anonymous. They need your information, not your name, right?
Correct.
Or your number.
Sure.
And there are methods in place so your number isn't known to Crime Stoppers.
Right.
But the public doesn't always understand that, and people don't feel particularly safe in that instance in talking about what happened in their immediate neighborhood, potentially. And you guys suggested Crime Stoppers was the way to go with that. And someone has recently said to me, yep, that's nice, but it's not enough for the people who live there. They're scared.
Well, one thing that I can reassure is that Crime Stoppers is 100% anonymous. When they call Crime Stoppers, they leave information and they're given a number. We don't ask for the name or anything like that. We have people that review the calls, and when somebody calls in to get an update, it's specifically by the number So that's one of the things I can reassure, that Crime Stoppers is 100% anonymous.
You said that where you made the arrest yesterday is not the teen's address. What led you to that specific address?
Just during the course of the investigation, that I can't go into details on how we got there, but through the investigation.
Were you led to this person through questioning of people at the party or from elsewhere?
During the course of the investigation, I can't go into more details other than that.
Have you had a chance to talk to the victim's family and kind of their reaction of having somebody in custody?
Yes.
Can you kind of just, I'm guessing usually they're somewhat relieved that at least there's a person in custody and.
You want, so yes, they have talked to the victim's family, and they were very relieved. They now can get some closure. Now they want justice. Yes, Denise.
Chief, can you talk about what was it about this case as opposed to the other two that led to such a quick arrest? I keep going back to that community involvement. Were there potentially witnesses here and maybe not in the other two cases that led to such a quick arrest of a suspect?
Well, I think one of the things with this case, there are so many people there. When you're talking over 100 and some people, and people that, the excellent job that the detectives do in processing this case and then just obtaining information. So when you have more of an isolated incident, that's where we really need the people that live in those areas to come forward and give us the information. But a lot of times when we have a case when there's so many people present, it is a lot, or I shouldn't say a lot, it is a little quicker or easier to process.
Do you believe this was the only shooter in this case?
Yes, at this time, we, at this point, don't have any indication that there was another shooter.
What is the 16-year-old doing?
Well, obviously it'd be illegal, and we do have a lot of illegal seized guns, throughout the year, and from vehicle burglaries, people leaving their cars unsecure with the new laws of the concealed carry. Some people leave their guns inside the car, so people do vehicle burglaries, home burglaries. People break in and take weapons that way, and then just trade them on the streets. So, more than likely the gun would have come from illegal transfer on the street.
Is the 16-year-old a resident of Peoria?
Yes.
You mentioned that the families want justice. In the case of a juvenile, that is not a public proceeding. Legally, it's not a public proceeding. Will they be kept informed? Do you have any idea? Or will they be able to see the proceeding because of their relationship to the case, or no?
My understanding would be if he got transferred over to adult court, but all of that is up to the state's attorney's office.
Is there any chance of that?
I don't want to speak on behalf of the state's attorney's office.
The Journal Star reported yesterday that the shooter did not go to the scene necessarily intending to shoot anyone. Do you have any idea as to motive?
Sir, I don't know where that statement came from. It did not come from me or my command staff, so I can't talk about that.
And Chief, you said you don't think there would be additional charges forthcoming, or did you?
No, that's up to the state's attorney's office
Right
if
now,
they.
there's just one murder
Right,
charge
right, for the arrest warrant.
Okay, just one for Ms. Anthony Collins.
Yes, the death resulting from Anthony Polniss's death. Thanks again, everyone. I appreciate it, and I do understand. You want more information, but hopefully you understand our side as well. So.
Is there anything else that people need to know about this?
Well, I think to go back to what we talked about the other day when Captain Scally had mentioned about Bradley being a safe area, even though this is a tragic incident that happened up there a few blocks off of campus, I do believe that the Bradley area is a safe area. So as far as the incident in that area is concerned, I definitely say it is safe, so the community does not have any concern up in that area. And again, I cannot stress enough the community involvement and cooperation with the police. It does produce results. Thank you, everyone.